What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hang 10. We're hanging out here in the Wavy Plus studio. Big thank you to A1 American for sponsoring Hang 10. We've got a really fun episode planned for you all today. Also, big news in the tropics. We've got more activity out there, so there's multiple things to look forward to here on Hang 10. Not only do we have exciting news when it comes to the Atlantic Surf Park in Virginia Beach, but also the tropics. We're finally getting some waves here. We just wrapped up pretty much a week-long swell thanks to strong northeasterly winds and Tropical Storm Dexter, which moved just offshore not too long ago. And this past weekend here, in Virginia Beach, I managed to find what was really left of the swell from that northeast wind and Tropical Storm Dexter. So a lot of fun waves that we were able to catch this weekend, but also some really big news in the surf industry as a whole and in the Atlantic Basin with more activity kind of on the way. So we'll first start out this episode with that surfing video from this past weekend. Hopefully everybody was able to catch some pretty fun waves as the wind started to die down, so it led to some maybe more manageable conditions out there for surfing. Obviously, this swell hasn't been the best to us when it comes to the actual quality of the surf. The onshore wind just making it really messy, really bumpy, really choppy. But nevertheless, we had some fun, and it's definitely better than what it has been this summer with how flat it has been for such a long period of time. So we'll get to that. We're also going to talk about wetsuits and the multiple different kinds of wetsuits I have here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different wetsuits, and kind of the uses and what kind of water temperatures you want to use each one for. We're talking about winter suits. We're talking about normal 3-2 wetsuits that you can use kind of year round, depending on the water temperature and your location. Also, the different kinds of wetsuits. You got short arm, long leg. You got long arm, short leg wetsuits, spring suits. There's a whole bunch of different kinds that you use depending on the weather conditions, the wave conditions, the water temperature, you name it. So we're going to be talking about that after the video wraps up. We're also going to, again, detail the specifics on the Atlantic Park, the Atlantic Surf Park, the Wave Garden that is opening up here in Virginia Beach very soon. And I'm super stoked for that. Hopefully be able to bring you an episode of Hang 10 from that. I think that would be a dream come true, and it would be really fun. So we're going to get down into the details of when it's opening and how you can book your session in the Virginia Beach wave pool. So really looking forward to bringing you guys those details. But we are going to start this off with surfing from this past weekend, the leftovers of Tropical Storm Dexter, but more so that northeasterly wind. So I'll be right back with more after this episode. So enjoy it. All right, what's going on, everybody? We are back in Virginia Beach looking for some waves. Past couple of days have been pretty gnarly with the wind. It's been pretty much onshore 20 to 30 miles per hour for like the past week. So we've had some good size, just not some very nice conditions. And that's kind of the same thing today. However, the northeast swell is starting to die off. There's the storm that's been kind of producing it is starting to move away. So that's the good news. We'll get that out of here. Hopefully make room for a new swell pretty soon. We're getting deeper and deeper into August, so that just means hurricane season should be starting to ramp up pretty soon. Yeah, so we got some waves today. It looks a little bit small from when I was checking it. Definitely not, 3 to 4, 3 to 5. I think that's mainly for the Outer Banks, but decided to stay local since the conditions aren't fantastic. Yeah, hopefully we'll score something. We're about to go across the inlet here in Virginia Beach and find a little bit of something. So we'll see what we can come across. Still some fun to be had out here, and we're just gonna hunt it down.
Quickly taking 5 here at the car. Waves are super fun given how small and choppy it is, but we've got the right board. 5/8 retro fish. We just got to add 2 more fins though, because it's a little too bumpy for 2 fins. It gets a little bit unstable, so we're going to add a little bit more stability with 2 fins. So let's do it. Stoked. Fun little wave in wow, so we're on it. We've been surfing a lot recently, so couldn't be better than this. Phew.
All right, everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Hang 10. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that video. We had a lot of fun tracking some waves the past few days in Virginia Beach. The leftovers, I would say, of Tropical Storm Dexter and really that northeast wind in general, which kind of lasted in our area for really a little over a week at this point. So we're excited to get that swell out of here, but then get more on the way. As of right now, when I'm filming this, Tropical Storm Erin has just formed in the far, far eastern Atlantic, just off the coast of Africa. So we're going to be tracking that one for a long time now, and hopefully it stays far away from land. Hopefully it curves up the coast, gives us some pretty big surf. Hopefully first big hurricane swell of the season. So lots to look forward to here in Hampton Roads as hurricane season is underway. It's also going to be really interesting to see what happens with the East Coast Surfing Championships and how that swell potentially, if it gets in time, could be right around the contest window. So some real waves in Virginia Beach for the contest. I think we'll take it. I think the competitors will take it too. Also, the next couple of weeks, a lot of stuff going on. Nag's Head, the Jeanette's Pier event is going to be going down soon, and hopefully there's going to be waves for that as well, which usually as we get towards September, we start to kind of heat things up anyway. I want to get into wetsuits because this past swell was kind of an interesting one with the water being so warm, but the wind being so strong on shore, the temperatures being probably around 10 degrees cooler than average, in some cases 10 to 15 degrees cooler than average, and also with the clouds and kind of the rain, the dreariness of the past little bit here with this swell, it was a big question as to, do you wear a wetsuit in that case? Because the water temperatures have been hanging out upper 70s to low 80s, so naturally your mind doesn't go to wetsuit in that case. We've got a couple different options here for if this ever happens again, which of course it likely will. With the strong northeasterly winds, we're accustomed to that here every now and then, but we've got basically full body wetsuits, which are essentially head to toe. You've got obviously boots and gloves that you can wear with the hood attached to the wetsuit. That's usually for winter surfing. So when the water temperature gets really below 55, maybe below 50 degrees, you'll be getting into that full wetsuit, 4.3 boots and gloves. Some cases a 5.4 wetsuit, 5 millimeters. To keep yourself warm, because not only is the water cold during the winter, but you also have the air temperature, which can, we can have highs in the 30s sometimes, or snow on the ground. You never know what the case may be. But essentially, those are your winter suits: your boots, gloves, your hood, your 5.4 wetsuit, 4.3 wetsuit. In some cases, that's the winter. In the spring and fall, that's when you're kind of in those transition zones between your winter gear and then your spring to summer gear. You're in the fall, you're adding on layers as you go through the fall season. So you're adding on the boots, you're adding on the gloves as you get later and later into the fall season. In the spring, you're shedding those layers. But I'm going to break it down into the actual wetsuit themselves. So you have at least in the spring, late spring, summer, and then into the fall season, you're mainly wearing the full body 3.2. So from basically your neck, shoulders down to your ankles is it kind of looks a little funny. It looks like just the all black suit a lot of times, really tight to your body. A lot of people who don't surf kind of think of it as kind of funny looking, which I just learned that recently. I didn't know I thought, as a surfer, 3.2 wetsuit is pretty standard gear, but to people who don't surf, maybe looks a little funny. I didn't know that until recently. But essentially, you have the full body 3.2. You're essentially wearing that when the water temperature is really 60 degrees to around 70-ish. After that, it becomes kind of personal preference. How cold do you get? It's all up to your body. But really from 60 to 70, in some cases 75 degrees, depending on the air temperature and the wind, you'll be wearing the full body 3.2 wetsuit. Now, you can also break the 3.2 down into kind of a short arm, long leg. So where the wetsuit essentially cuts off here, the arm sleeve won't go all the way down to your wrist. It'll cut off really at your elbow, both arms, but you're still dealing with the long leg wetsuit. You usually wear those in, I guess, similar water temperatures, but in cases where the air temperature is really hot. Say the water temperature is in the 60s, but your air temperature is in the 80s, and you don't want to be sweating too much when you're kind of just sitting on your board or, above the surface of the water, which for the most time when you're surfing, you're usually above the surface of the water unless you're duck diving or you're wiping out on a wave. For the most part, you're above, so you want to compensate. You don't want to, have the extremely long arm if it's really, really hot out. You'll overheat pretty quickly. You also have the long leg, you have the short leg, long arm wetsuit. In that case, the water temperature likely around 70, maybe a little bit above 70 degrees. But the air temperature is cold. And this past swell would be a great time to kind of break out the short leg, long arm wetsuit, where the arm sleeve goes all the way, except your leg sleeve that only goes down to about your knee. So you're still you're feeling the warm water. Obviously, you don't really need to to be too comfortable when it comes to the water temperature. This past swell, the water temperature was like 78 degrees. That's pretty warm. But the air, with the wind that was blowing and the cloud cover, kind of the dreariness out, our highs only topped out in the 70s. And with the wind, it could feel a whole lot cooler. They call that the wind chill. And that could, really affect you during your surf session. Kind of start to tense up. You don't want to, have to get out of the water too early when the waves are good because you didn't have the right gear and you were cold. So that's kind of the two things. You have the short arm, long leg, short leg, long arm wetsuits that are great when either the air temperature's warmer than the water or the water temperature, vice versa. Then you also have your spring suit. Essentially, your spring suit, when the water temperature really gets above 70 to 75 degrees, and maybe there's a little bit of wind still, your late spring, early summer, even most of the time in the summer, it's your short arm and short leg wetsuits. So those are for when the water temperature is pretty warm, around 70 to 75, and the air temperature is also pretty warm. Maybe not hot, because obviously if you're in a full wetsuit, it's going to be, with all that rubber, all that neoprene, may lead to overheating. But after really getting above 75 degrees with the water, and then when the air starts to get warm, you obviously want to keep yourself covered from the UV in the middle of the summer, because the sun angle's high, your exposure to the sun, that could lead to sunburn pretty quickly. You just want the standard wetsuit top. So it could be a rash guard, it could be an actual wetsuit top shirt that you could put on with your board shorts. Again, it really all depends on the water temperature, the weather conditions. Is there clouds? Is there not clouds? Is it windy or is it not windy? And really the time of year as well. So that's a couple things about wetsuits. This fall, I'm going to do pretty much a whole episode dedicated to wetsuits. So stick around for that. I'll be bringing in actual wetsuits to show everybody, and we can really break it down. So again, there's a couple things that it really goes into. A lot of it coming to the weather. So we'll talk about that after this short break. Don't go anywhere. And we will talk about the Atlantic Surf Park, which is opening very soon. I can't wait to share this with you guys. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hang 10. We've got some really, really, really exciting information for everybody. To those who obviously know about the Atlantic Surf Park, the wave pool that's set to open soon in Virginia Beach. Surfers have been waiting a long time for it. But for those who do not know, there is a wave pool being built right now, and it's about to open in Virginia Beach. And you can book your sessions pretty soon. So we'll get to it in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Atlantic Park Surf Wave Pool in Virginia Beach. It's going to be opening this next upcoming weekend on August 16th. Extremely exciting stuff. I've got the website kind of pulled up here. You can go to it, atlanticparksurf.com, and book your sessions. It's going to be exciting. So I got a little bit of information here that I've managed to acquire for everybody to give them all the details on opening day, which again is the 16th. It is North America's first Wave Garden Cove Surf Lagoon. Now, Wave Garden is really the company that is building the pool. They have multiple locations all across the world. If you go to YouTube and look up Wave Garden, or just Google and look up Wave Garden, it's pretty much the same pool. Each location with some slight differences, some slight tweaks. So if you really want to see what the waves kind of look like, there are tons of videos out on YouTube. And it's going to be located in Virginia Beach, which is the birthplace of East Coast surfing. Obviously, we know that. here in Hampton Roads. All the surf contests that are run throughout the year. It is a surf mecca, and so it's just the perfect place really for this this wave pool to really operate. I've surfed a wave pool before. I've surfed the American Dream wave pool in New Jersey. This wave pool is bigger, and there's way more options for waves, and the waves look pretty gnarly. You can kind of see the highlight reel flashing here in the website. Guys doing airs, guys doing turns. You can see with that clip, waves for all different kinds of skill levels. So if you go to the website, you'll see this kind of this little sneak peek here flashing on the screen. There's barrels there, guy doing an air. There's the rendering there for Virginia Beach, the location, and you can see there's a right and a left. So two different sides of the pool, depending on which way you want to go. You also notice there's guys learning how to surf. There's guys like this doing big airs. So there's a wide variety of talent that can utilize the pool. There's a ton of different waves depending on skill level. And if you're trying to learn to surf, or if you're trying to progress in surfing with radical maneuvers, there's something for everybody. The technology is the most energy efficient wave garden literally in the world, which is really cool. And the system can generate, this is a mind-blowing statistic for me, up to 1,000 waves per hour. And there's more than 20 types of waves. So this is some really advanced tech that they're working with, ranging from 1 to 7 feet in height of waves. That's pretty cool. Again, it's garnered to beginners, intermediate, advanced, expert surfers, pro surfers. They're going to be shredding this as well. It offers 55-minute sessions. That's important here. 55-minute sessions available year-round, 365 days a year, pretty much. Hours obviously varying seasonally. We get pretty cold here in the winter. I'm very interested to kind of learn about over the next couple of weeks what they plan on doing for the winter season. But I'm assuming for the summer, not going to really have much trouble there. Each surfer will have the chance to catch an average of 12 waves per session. Obviously, if the pool isn't full, that could mean to more waves per surfer. If it's jam-packed, roughly around 12. And the capacity for each session ranges from 20 to 40, depending on the wave profile. So if it's the beginner wave, if it's the advanced wave, things like that. So I'm going to go to this Learn tab here. You can see a bunch of different age groups. There's private coaching, a whole bunch of stuff here to enjoy. We'll go to the Surf tab. There's different types of waves. The cruiser wave, there's for turns, for the barrel section, the air section. It all depends on your skill level. You can see here there's a ton of different waves: advanced, expert, professional. Getting back to the beginner kind of tab here. It's kind of a more gentle wave, just learning, just standing up on the board. There's also other things in general about the whole lagoon itself. Its surrounding beach kind of has like a premium beach club environment, a lounge, chairs, cabanas, places to relax and kind of enjoy the area before and after their session. So really cool stuff. You can go to atlanticparksurf.com, hit book now, and you can get your session for you. The surfing rates are from around $91 to $161 per session. Again, it's going to depend on what kind of wave you want and your skill level. So really exciting stuff here from Atlantic Park. The wave pool is coming soon. I think everybody here is really excited for it. I know I'm excited. Hopefully we can get a Hang 10 episode from the wave pool itself, showcase some of the waves, hopefully maybe even get into the water, fingers crossed, and maybe get some footage as to what it's like surfing the wave. That's hopefully something we can figure out. But it is opening this weekend, the wave pool. It is. I'm going to go back to this home menu here, and here we go. Yeah. It is opening the 16th of August, and I got a couple pictures here real quick before we go too. So get ready for it. It's going to be really exciting. There is it under construction. This was from a little bit ago in Virginia Beach. So really exciting. Here's a view from the wave, the Virginia Beach wave itself. I believe this is local legend Blair Barton, one of the pro surfers across our area. He absolutely shreds. You can see here him doing some turns. there's a left and a right, depending on your preference. And yeah, I think surfers are going to really enjoy this wave pool. So I'm excited to hopefully bring some more information to you guys in the next couple of weeks. The opening, obviously, is August 16th. So that's this upcoming weekend. Get ready for it. Get stoked. I know I'm ready for it. So thank you guys for sticking with me this episode of Hang 10. We'll be back next weekend with hopefully some more waves. And yeah, what else is to come across Hampton Roads when it comes to hurricane season in general? We got Tropical Storm Erin out there. Hopefully we'll be catching some waves from that soon. But yeah, thanks for sticking along. We'll see you guys next week.